What's going on, good people? This is Twaski with Peep and Game. Taking in that evening walk now. It's about 7 o'clock. Sun not too hot. Got me a new gadget. Goes around my neck, keep my hands free. Kind of hard holding the phone while you're walking. But anyway, I was talking to one of my buddies about purpose. You know, he was just talking, chit-chatting. And he was like, well, T, how did you find your purpose? How do you know what you're doing is something that you should be doing? And I said, that's a good question, because I know I sent you a video. I know I did a short on something like that. People really don't know their purpose or why they're here. And I think that video was the 5 crucial questions to ask yourself. But before I say your purpose, don't quit your job until you got something really else lined up. And that's with anything, technically. Don't just walk out on your job. But how do you find your purpose? I'm gonna start off with this. I'm in the training department. Well, I was. I don't have that no more, but I started my business. It's still training. But everybody's on this planet. You put here, you do have a purpose. Sometimes that purpose can be found in what we call a gift or a talent, or you just got this idea. And what I mean by that idea is, let's just say you see something. We'll start off with anger. I know it's gonna sound strange, but let's just say you see somebody, and it's just one example now. I'm not telling you this is everything. Something that just makes you so angry till you just want to do something about it. Like trafficking. I know that sounds like a thing. You just can't stand that. It just bothers you. So what you may do is, you might want to be a traffic officer, or you start advocating or writing books on trafficking or whatnot, because it angered you and you just had to do something about it. Now that's just one. And I know that probably won't make a lot of sense, but just think about what I'm saying on that first tip. The next one is something that you can't stop thinking about. You gotta do it. You feel led to do it. You're constantly thinking about it. You keep going back to it. Like hypothetically, if you were young and you like riding bikes, and you don't realize that you might be in the Tour de France one day, because you just keep going back to ride that bike, and you just go far and far and just keep going and going. And people may tell you, man, why are you riding that bike? You don't need to be riding a bike. Well, that's another thing. We'll talk about that later. But so let me start back. Something that angers you so bad till you just want to do something about it. You may find purpose, a passion in that, where you want to do something. The next one is something that you just can't stop thinking about. It's constantly on your mind. You constantly just going back to it, leaning back to it. Now, once again, people, you really gotta sit down and evaluate yourself. Like, don't want to do what other people are doing. Like I know people say, well, I want to be a football player. Well, what are you doing? Are you preparing yourself? And that's another thing, putting action, my bad for saying so loud, but putting action behind whatever that desire is. I'm gonna be honest, that's the most important and crucial step, is momentum. John Maxwell talks about the law of momentum, and even Miles Monroe talks about motion. In other words, even though you think about it, if you're not doing anything towards it, then that's not your purpose. That's just real. Now, if you're thinking about it and you put in action, you learning about it, you studying it, you might even go to school or something about it. And then you gotta look at, when I was talking about starting your business, and the 5 crucial things you must do to start a business. I think the title in that short was quitting your job. One thing is management. This is something real key. If you have something and you manage it very, very well, that means you are ready and can be prepared to take on a new task. So whatever you're managing, whatever you take care of real well, for example, let's just say you want I'm just being hypothetical now. Let's just say you want a new PlayStation. You want the new PS7. Is that what's out right now? I don't even know. But you got a PS4. Well, what are you doing with that PS4? If I come to your room, and I'm just talking, this is hypothetical, But I know adults play video games. Don't play. So let's just say I come to your house and I go to your room and you got that PS4 sitting in the corner, joysticks all broke, game upside down, dirty, but yet you want a PS6 or whatever, the latest PS. Well, let me tell you something. If I'm looking at that, if I'm your guardian, I'm probably not going to buy you a new one because I'm looking at how you're taking care of the old one. You get where I'm going? Let's use a bicycle to be a little bit more clear. Let's just say you want a new bike, but you didn't take care of the old bike. That's management of your resources. How well do you take care of something will determine how well you take care of the new things. So think about that. So once again, something that makes you angry. Second thing would be something that you just can't stop thinking about. You just got this passion for it. Thirdly would be, what are you managing already? What are you taking care of so well that you ready for the next thing? So remember those little small 3 things. I'm gonna go into details later about it, but then let's talk about the ideas, your gifts, your talents. So let me give you an example. I heard this story. I'm gonna use the same story Miles Monroe said. This lady got fired from her job, but when she got fired, she went back to the job and gave everybody some cookies. She baked cookies. Now check this out. So when she gave them cookies, they were like, these are some really good cookies. So she went home, got a bigger oven, started baking more cookies, bringing them out, passing them out for free. I started my business like that, doing free trainings. Next thing you know, you probably buying her cookies in the store. Do you see what happened? She had a gift. She had a talent that gave her an idea. And if you listen to the 5 crucial things to start your business, she managed those cookies well. She managed her own kitchen well. You understand? Then she took her gift and produced it, made inventory, and then marketed it by putting it out on the earth. I said earth last time, but she marketed it, putting it out to the people. People will buy your product, but they can't buy something that you don't have. That's just real. A lot of people I know want to make all this money, but they don't have a product. And another thing about that is, don't chase the money. Chase the opportunity to put your products out. If I don't think you're going to get that here. A lot of people say, well, I want to make a lot of money. Well, money is the benefit of the actions that you take with the products that you have. I don't know how to explain that anymore. In other words, you ain't going to make no money if you ain't pushing nothing out to the public for them to invest in. So another thing about that is, you're going to have some people. I know when I was coming up, they used to call them haters, but you don't need people to bring value to you. Your purpose actually brings value to you. In other words, if you're feeling like you're lonesome, lonely, you feel like the world is spinning, it's probably because you haven't tapped into what you're supposed to be really doing. Your purpose. Why are you really here? And once you tap into that, trust me, that will bring value to you like you wouldn't even understand. I'm being repetitive, but you don't need people to bring value to you. I don't know. I know I probably been through that before coming up as a youngster, but I don't look for someone else to make me feel better, especially now that I'm fulfilling my purpose, my goals. That is beautiful. The energy that I get and the drives that I get is actually making me stick to what I've been doing lately. I'm about to reform my whole self, people. And I'm hoping some of y'all take that ride with me. You know, we were talking about discipline in one of my videos. I don't know what you're doing in the morning. How you start your day off will determine how your day ends. Let me be clear when I say this. If you wake up with negative thoughts, that's what you're going to produce. But if you wake up positive, saying this is going to be a great day, I'm not going to go into details because there's some things that I say every morning now to change my conscious, my subconscious. And I say it at night just to change, because if it sticks in that subconscious, it's got to manifest. And that's biblical too. So what are you saying to yourself early in the morning? What are you doing to start your day off? Are you getting up and just, if you're out of shape, the thing is, discipline is, what are you going to do? What actions are you going to take to get back in shape? I'm just telling you what I was doing is I'm starting a little walk a little bit. I'm not out here trying to do a marathon, just out here getting my little walk on, do my little push-ups, but don't stop. Every morning and every evening I do it. And yeah, sometimes you're gonna miss a day, don't get me wrong, but don't let that day turn into 3 days. That's gonna show how much discipline you have. So be consistent and try it. Don't push yourself too hard, because we don't want you to fail. I've been through that before. You just jump up one morning and you just trying to do all this stuff, and then you just, oh man, I can't do this no more. Well, ease into certain things. Take your time, pace yourself. That'll be good too. But yeah, if you guys can take that journey with me, let's see what's going on with this, because I'm trying to do all three. I believe the body, well, itself is three things, spirit, mind, and then the physical. I don't see how you can say I'm mentally strong, but your body look like crap. It don't make sense. If you're mentally strong, everything else will fall into order. You can't be spiritually strong, your body look like crap, your brain all jacked up. You're not still an imbalance. You can't get one strong without the others. I don't know how to say it no other way. But true balance is being healthy. And I ain't saying you gotta walk around looking like I don't even watch TV, so I can't even pick out no people. I don't know no beautiful people except for me. I'm just playing. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I ain't saying walk around trying to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger, or and if you're a woman, I don't know I don't know, shucks, Mariah Carey, I'll just throw her name. Well, I'll tell you who I like though, Stevie Nicks. Some of y'all don't even know her. But anyway, yeah, you gotta take care of the whole. I think it's called holistic, the holistic approach. You just don't brush one tooth. You gotta brush them all, right? Don't shave one side of your head. You gotta shave the whole head. I kind of be missing spots, so I ain't gonna sit here and talk about that too much. But yeah, just try to work on all things. And for the spirit, I know people don't, if you say Jesus, which is the name the Catholics gave us, which is all good. The Bible says they should call his name Emmanuel. I don't even hear that name. But his true name's supposed to be Yeshua. Barely hear that name, but there's power in the name, they tell me. So we saying a name that ain't yours. I wonder what kind of power we getting, but I believe he knows who we talking about, even though we've been told these things. But the spirit, I believe in the spirit. I believe in God. So ground yourself in something. When I take these walks, I'm talking right now on this little phone, but I talk to my Father. You understand? And I guarantee you, it's some good times, especially in the morning, early in the morning, starting the day off, talking to my Father. And then sometimes when I go home, I'm an introvert naturally, so I'm by myself like I'll say 23/6. I'm by myself pretty much all the time. So I do a lot of thinking. And it doesn't bother me, trust me, I enjoy that. Not too good around, let me stop saying that. I'm working on my people skills. Let me just be clear. I'm working on my people skills, trying to get focused, with hanging out with people and not leaving so early. But if I'm not comfortable around you, I'm not gonna stay long, people. That's just the way it is. I gotta really, really feel comfortable around you. What's up? And that's just how I roll. So the spirit, so I talk to my Father, get that spirit together, I read the word, I read positive stuff. I don't watch a lot of foolishness. I know YouTube. In other words, I don't be on no phone swiping looking for foolishness. I find a good thing and I'll listen to it and stick with it. Especially the information I get, or the videos that I watch, and then I'll read a lot too. But my profession, I got to do a lot of reading. I'm in the mental health, trauma. I do a lot of reading, and so that keeps my head going as far as the brain. But the spirit, working on that, the brain, the mentally, keep not putting foolishness in my head, or being around foolish people. I always want to joke and stuff, or don't think. I know life is supposed to be fun, but I remember Amiri Baraka used to be partners with Malcolm X. I used to recite this poem by him, but the poem basically says, it's too much going on in the world for us to be clowning or playing. we got to really get hip to what's going on and be prepared. Like I was talking about that earlier, it's not that I'm not into conspiracy theories. I don't think they're conspiracy theories. I think it's just what it is. It's something that's going to manifest. They put it in movies. And I see some of that stuff on YouTube and hear people talk about it. But this is how I look at it. And because I've mentioned in the video, I don't have power over it. Don't have control over it. We're not going to unify to stop it. You get where I'm going? As a matter of fact, we've run into all this technology, not realizing, I'm looking at the commercials. The way they doing it, they're making you're going to run to it. You're not going to run away from it because they're going to make it seem like it's so beautiful. This is what you need to survive. You got to remember, my age, I grew up in the country. We didn't have all that technology. We stayed outside. Came in before dark. You understand? We didn't have no video games. I think we had the Atari 2600 or the Odyssey. Something came out called Odyssey when I was coming. But trust me, we didn't even mess with that stuff. Them games, they might have been entertaining for a minute, but we was on our bikes, riding, hanging out, getting dirty. Different kind of generation. I'm not knocking the new generations now. You guys are born into these tools, this technology tools that we were not born in, and that's okay though. But don't let it consume you. Don't let it take you out, because that's what I'm seeing is happening. But I'm losing my point here. Really didn't have a point. I'm just walking and breathing hard, and really just trying to test out my new thing here, which I'm actually kind of liking. Might be able to do some jumping jacks a little later, but anyhow. Let me see how that worked. No, I got you jumping. Got me feel like I'm bouncing in a bouncy house. But just as I was saying, you don't have control over these things that's going to come. I know I say they're inevitable, but there's only, the word says, the people pray, he'll stop everything. But I don't see that message being pushed out. You understand? What I see pushed out is a lot of evil, witchcraft, sorcery, a lot of sex, gender stuff, trying to be more advanced than what we are, human, advancing our bodies with technology, transhumanism, putting your brain or stuff into computers or whatever. I might be saying all that wrong, but transferring the human into computers, whatever they call that. It's just a lot of stuff going on that my grandfather would probably roll over if he saw what was happening or heard what was happening. I think I said it in the last video. The stuff that was on TV that we used to watch and grow up with, it's coming. I don't think it's not. And the thing is, you don't have to believe it. That's the thing about the way this world goes. Just because you don't believe it, one, it doesn't mean it's not true. Two, somebody else believes in it. And the fact is, those that believe in it probably the ones that's trying to make it come manifest. And if you think that you don't have no power, no control, your beliefs really don't matter. It's the actions that you take to deal with what's coming. I mentioned that if the things that's coming are going to cause you to stress out, it's going to make you have anxiety, it's going to make you have depression, and it's going to make you want to give up on life. But you got the tools, you can control that. I think that's a serenity prayer. Give me the ability to deal with things I can't. I don't know how that thing goes, but I agree with that. If you don't have the ability to manage your stress, it's going to take you down a wild ride. You're not going to be able to deal with what's coming. And I can't really explain it to you, but how you respond to things, how you mentally are, will determine how you deal with things. That's like somebody getting in a car wreck. Why does one person get in a wreck responds to the wreck totally the opposite than someone else? They wilding out, screaming, all upset over something material, but 2 years later, they realize, man, I didn't even have to respond like that. It was just a car. I had insurance. Nobody got hurt. Well, maybe somebody did. And I got to be careful what I say because I'm not all knowing. But here's the thing. Don't look for the little things, the weak things, and, try to make that the big thing. You know, people try to say, oh, well, what about this? Well, I can't answer every question. That's not what I'm intended to do. You have to take the basics and apply it to your life, especially all these little videos I'm pushing out. You know, and if you like them videos, share them, especially them shorts. Now, I'm trying to do some full-blown training, but while I'm doing the training, it's just every time I get ready to record, I get so excited, I might forget to hit the record button. So a whole hour training goes by, or hour and a half, and I never even hit the record button. That's happened 3 times. One time I did a mental health conference in the auditorium. We recorded it, but the echo, you can't even hear. You know what I'm saying when I'm describing what trauma is, where developmental trauma comes from. So, but anyway, good people, I'm really just walking. I'm gonna do another lap, talk to my father. It was good just spending a little time with you, getting used to this stuff now. As an introvert, I wasn't always into people. I wouldn't say you in my business. You understand? I don't think it's like that. You know, because if it was, I really wouldn't do it. I was skeptical, or hesitant about doing videos. I actually had started another YouTube channel using video something to make videos. It was doing it for me. And I remember people saying, oh, I want to see somebody live. AI is taking over, all that's artificial. Yeah, well, people gonna jump on that. That's the way the world is going. They're gonna jump on it. So make some investments, people. Watch how you spend your money. Put it in something that's gonna bring you something back. Material things, all that's not even. And I know, trust me, I've had the best. And after I've gotten it, I realize it ain't even worth it. You know, I'd rather have happiness, peace, a great companion, and just be able to do things without struggling, and things like that. Oh, let me tell you this. I was watching a video. The guy did a real good job. He was talking about the 80s, that a family in the 80s that was making $30,000 was actually doing good. Had a house, maybe 2 cars, wasn't struggling. This is $30,000 in the 80s. Now it's 2025, and he said he did this chart, whatever. In order to live, or the amount of money you need to survive today to be as wealthy. I'm not gonna use the word wealthy, because having a certain amount of income compared to the 1980s, you need $240,000 a year. Did you hear me? $240,000 a year. And I'm honestly thinking that's probably why people are on these videos. I saw a video where people were asking, how are we surviving with these high prices, these high costs? And I'm looking at how they're stressing. And I'm believing that you're stressing so hard that you can't see a way out of it, because that stress is going to put you down. You understand? You may sleep longer. You're going to miss opportunities because you're stressed out. And I had to get out of that. I've been stressed before, and I realized that when I was stressed, am I rambling? Let me go ahead and get off of this thing and let y'all do your thing. Take a good walk, people. Put your money where it counts. Stay positive. This is Twarski with Peeping Game. Hit that like and subscribe button too. Peace out.